Okay, so today again we're going to be observed. Okay. And the person who will be observing you is called Duncan. So say hello to Duncan on this. Very natural again. Okay, so today I'm going to do a lesson based on reading skills. And we did something sort of like this a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, but I'll come back to that in a second. But before we do that, I would like to choose one random student, and by random I mean Nicola. to come up to the screen, or come up, not to the screen, so well you can if you wish, okay? And he is going to act out certain genres of text, okay? Does everyone understand the word genre?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So can you give me an example of a type of genre, a textual genre in English? Give me an example, or in your languages as well. What is it? Like as an example.
Poetry?
Poetry would be a type of genre. No, I mean text.
Novel.
So what kind of novels? News articles, for example. Science journal articles, etc. Music articles. We don't have music per se.
No.
Okay, maybe lyrics. Which?
Romance novels.
Romance novels, those kind of things. Okay. So for the next minute or so, it depends on how quick he is going to act out a type of genre. Okay? You understand that?
Yeah.
Your job is just to guess what genre he's out.
Let's go,
So
Nicola.
Up you come. Okay? So say hello to Duncan on the screen there. Excellent. He's going to act this out, and everyone else is going to guess what it is. First one. Act that out. Act that out. Okay? How could you do that? Okay? Simple. You could choose any of these, whichever one you want. Okay, we'll go with this one. Okay? So just to clarify, he has chosen this one. Right? Off we go. So this is a type of genre. Okay? Come over here so everyone can see it on the screen. Again? Cooking. Recipe. Recipe.
Point for us.
Just to clarify again. That one.
Book, read.
Reading.
So what kind of text is it?
Fishing.
Fiction.
How to fishing?
Sport.
No.
Sport.
Instruction.
Tennis.
No.
Shoot.
Action.
Hunter.
War.
Fight.
Novel.
What kind of novel?
The art of the war.
What kind of novel? Come back.
It's
Right
a
here.
novel.
Dramatic.
What kind of dramatic novel? Yeah.
Fiction.
Thriller.
Star Wars.
What's that?
Science fiction.
Science fiction. Very well. Fishing.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, excellent. Okay. Another type of text.
Okay.
Drama.
Dramatic. Drama king.
Leonora?
Poison.
No, maybe you need. Do you need to?
Shakespeare. No.
Shakespeare.
Novel.
Yes, it is a type of novel.
Right.
Rapunzel.
Somebody
Romance.
name it?
Romance.
Romance novel. Yes, very good.
I didn't hear that.
What's the resting position for the French?
No.
You didn't use that one.
No,
Okay.
I did.
Next one then. Next one.
Okay.
Just to clarify.
Diving.
Detective.
Detective box.
Novel.
Excellent. And then this is the last text. The last text. This one here.
Travel.
School.
No.
Journey.
Yeah, tourist.
What kind of text? What kind of text?
Adventure.
Adventure.
Photography.
Tourist novel.
Backpack.
Hey, sit down. Take a bow. Okay, so last week, 3 weeks ago, the topic of the class was planning ahead. And one of the things that we did was choose a random article from BBC, I think it was, and you guessed or predicted the kinds of vocabulary that would come up. We also chose, I think, 3 or 4 days, the Irish weather forecast, and we predicted the kinds of vocabulary that would come up. What do you expect in Ireland?
Rain.
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
So you would expect what kind of vocabulary?
Shower.
Showers. What kind of showers?
Ocean.
Isolated shower.
Isolated showers, not ocean showers. Okay, anything else?
Patchy.
Patchy rain. What was another word for light rain?
Drizzle.
Drizzle. Okay, so you could predict a lot of the vocabulary. And if I chose a random article, and by random I mean I already chose it. If I chose an article like China's Great Wall damaged by workers looking for a shortcut. Shortcut here is they wanted a quicker route to get to their destination. So for some strange reason, these 2 people in China decided to knock down part of the Great Wall of China just so that they could drive through faster, so they wouldn't have to go around. Maybe you could expect the kinds of vocabulary that comes up in that. Maybe you would know the kinds of machines, the excavators, or whatever they use for that. Okay, everyone understand that? So this is just a prediction. Okay, it's a prediction. Using prediction powers will help you possibly, we'll see, possibly read texts. Okay, even when you don't understand all of the vocabulary. All right. Now I'm going to give you 2 sentences, okay? I'm going to give you 2 sentences, Dave and Luca, okay? I'm going to give you 2 sentences that are the start of a text, okay? Just the start. With your partners, I want you to predict the content, not the words. You don't have to give me a list of words or whatever. Just what kind of text would you expect this to be? And what would you expect to see inside the text? Okay, you understand that? I will be showing Duncan what it is we will be reading. Okay? Okay, later on. Okay, so this group is this group. Okay, right. I'll take one of these. Okay, shortcut means it's a short way to get to your destination. Okay, so they've cut the route. So with your partners, you have to guess what kind of content you expect to see after these 2 sentences. You all have the same sentences. This group, what do you expect to see? What do you expect to see in the text later on? Okay, and then this group, what do you expect to see in the text after these 2 sentences? Apologies. Getting nervous in front of the camera. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so I'll give you 2 minutes with your partner. Quick. What would you expect after this? Okay, what kinds of content would you expect? What genre is it? Okay, what genre is it? Do not use a dictionary at all. Do not use a dictionary. You have to guess everything in this lesson. Okay, do not use a dictionary. What type of genre? What genre is it? What genre do you expect this is going to be? It's the name of a pub, but you don't need to know what kind of genre is it and what would you expect in that kind of genre in the text. What kind of content? Don't focus too much on the words that you don't know. What kind of genre is it? And what would you expect in text that is of that genre? What kind of content? So predict what will happen in the text.
Yeah, that.
Predict what's going to happen in the
Yeah.
desert of Mars.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to predict what's going to come after this. Well, I don't want you to understand every single word. Okay, we're on screen. Yes, you know. Predict the
Murder.
words or the
Crime.
content that you're going to expect. What kind of text is that? What is it?
News or
News? Is it? History?
Company found
News.
But I think it's not the way to write.
What would you expect?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
You're going to go
What kind of content would you expect? First of all, what's genre? What kind of story would you expect?
Murder. Psychological thriller.
This is one part.
This is the first.
Exactly.
You have to guess from this. What do you expect the content to be? So what kind of genre is it? What would you expect this is?
Yeah, new films more.
Mystery.
What is good for.
Core
Maybe they are testing that water.
What would you expect? It's
Investigation.
They have to test.
What would you expect?
They are doing
Later
some-
on in the text. What kind of content? Just speculate.
You don't know. You just have to speculate.
We need to talk only about it. Or
That's
we
it,
need
that's
to
it.
write?
No, you don't need to.
Yeah, if they can, if they consider something like a base,
Maybe you
Not
to consider more there.
Weed, cocaine,
If you were writing
Because it's moving.
from this as a start, inspired. It's all about a woman. Safe life. Would there be a woman involved? Maybe creating a family?
Okay, yes.
Maybe he has a dark past. Okay, speculate.
It's like blinders. Yeah.
Gunfight.
She's spaceship.
Nice.
I know. By the bus. Space And you, okay, these are words, but what about the content?
But now,
Okay, what would you expect the story to be like? Okay, this is just words. This is just words.
family, do a change in
Okay.
life.
Okay, so you have a good idea what. So if you were writing,
just words.
yeah, but if you were writing the story after this, what would you what would you say? If you
Emerged only.
you're a character.
Like lost.
Yeah.
And
And
It was floating.
floating, yeah,
Okay.
floating. About it, emerged and finally to return.
Yeah, you can do it.
And,
Go.
The Irish government asked to the detective Francis to understand what happened because it's not common law. It needs to be a leader from the So it starts at 5 here.
And you are right.
2.
So we have to.
One by the Erin market and another one. Sorry. And another one.
You need the main
cocaine.
It's the reality.
Very short remark. It's a dictionary of a situation. Write the text.
So, one is try to both marks all
Okay, so I'm going to ask you now for the screen, so you're going to perform extremely well for this activity. This group down here, I want you to predict the kinds of story that you're going to get when I give you the text, the full text in a minute. So what genre do you think the text comes from? What kind of genre? Dave?
What kind?
Yeah, what genre is it? Would you expect?
Science fiction.
So you'd expect science fiction. So could you read out the text that you that I
The
gave?
northern hemisphere of Mars, where Elon Musk's Tesla colony and houses in the desert of red sands.
Okay. Sounds
And a reminder to all who
resided.
there of the launchness of Earth, the colony and testament to human
Ingenuity.
was bestly with activity.
Okay, so first of all, the first thing to note is that Dave found it very difficult to pronounce all of that. And the reason is there was lots of vocabulary that he didn't know. Okay, there was lots of vocabulary there. You got what? Ingenuity, lushness, resided. What's this? Bustling. He had no idea. Okay, now that's not the important thing. You are going to see how you might be able to guess from context and making your predictions. So, Sarah, Jermaine, and Luca, what would you expect to happen later in the story? Even if you didn't understand every single thing in the first 2 sentences, what would you expect to happen in the story?
So we would expect that they are doing some research
Okay, research.
about the environment, spaceship, rockets.
Okay, so you might hear about spaceships and rockets
And
and all
water, yeah.
that. Water. What else might you hear in the
Maybe
science
they are
fiction?
going to send a group, a team. It's more like science, military, geology,
Okay.
engineers to.
What would you expect to find in science fiction?
A new life.
You like in science fiction. What else? What else? It's in outer space. What would you expect?
UFO?
UFOs, maybe. What else? You might get
Experience.
experience.
Danger place.
Extraterrestrials?
Yes.
Extraterrestrials. That's what you meant. That's what you meant. Okay, very good. This group here. So this group here. I'm not going to ask you to read it out. Okay? What genre is it?
detective novel.
It's a detective novel. So what would you expect to happen in the detective novel later on in the text? What would you expect? So they wrote down some vocabulary that they might expect to hear. Can you give me some of them?
Murder, crime, research, witness, serial killer, mystery, gunfight, investigation, drugs, spire,
Etc., etc. You didn't say that last word. Okay, so in general, you might expect that kind of vocabulary to occur later on in the text. Very good. this group, what was your genre? What was your genre?
We think that maybe it's a drama.
It's a kind of drama, okay? And what would you expect? Who was the main character at the start of the drama? Elian, a person called Elian. Now, what would you expect to happen later on in the text?
Maybe it's creating another life.
He's going to create another life.
Yes.
Where?
In Dublin.
In Dublin.
Yes. Yes, because his country is terrible now. His
Country is in terrible
situation.
situation.
Yes, traffic in another city. Yes, maybe find with a wife, marry, and have a family. I find a job. Yes, exactly. That's always.
Very good, very good. Excellent. Okay, now I'm going to give you the text. Okay, I'm going to give you the text. Do not look at the text immediately, okay? Because I'm going to have to change just one aspect. Okay, do not look at the text, okay?
It's gonna be
Do
recorded.
not look at the text, okay? Do not look at the text. Do not look at the text. Good. Okay. Do not look at the text.
Don't look at it.
Don't look at the text. Don't look at the text. Look at.
No.
How many skills are coming up? Okay. And then I'm probably yes, I probably have. Okay, so with this.
Nicola.
I'll do it. Okay, right. So one of the skills that so we're trying to investigate certain techniques to improve your reading. One of the skills that you could possibly need, or may possibly improve your chances of success, is something called skimming. So skimming is when you read a text very, very quickly, maybe in less than a minute for a text this length. No, sorry, right? No, actually, not even close to a minute. Maybe 20 seconds. Just to look for the general meaning of the story, okay? The general gist, it's called, okay? The gist. So I'll give you about 15 seconds, 20 seconds to quickly look over this story. What do you have to do, okay? So 15 to 20 seconds to get the general idea of this story, and then I will ask you to quickly do it. Okay, quick.
Chop, chop.
Chop, 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 don't give me. Okay, very, very quickly. 20 seconds just to get the general idea of the story. Very, very fast. Very fast, quick. Very fast. 15, 20 seconds. Okay, 15, 20 seconds. 15 seconds left.
Hush.
Stop! Stop! Put down your text. Put down your text. Put down your text. Stop reading. Stop reading. Stop reading. Stop reading. Stop reading, Sergeant. Now, how many of you got to the end? Or I'm sure what you were doing is this. I just looked around and you were going like this. You're going, okay, yeah. You're going to take a very long period of time doing that. Okay, no, when I ask you to skim for the details, I mean, skim for the general idea, just very, very quickly, are there any words that pop out? I'm sure most of you saw something in particular. What did you see?
My name.
Your name.
My name.
Exactly, you saw your name, so you should expect, oh, well, I'm a character in the story. Okay? Every single one of you is a character in the story, okay? In each story, okay? You understand that? That's why I put you in the particular groups. Could you get, now, don't look at the text. Did you get any of the information about the general idea of the story? Just very quick after 20 seconds. Katya, did you get anything about the story? Don't look at the text.
Sorry. Just Nicola is famous about the wine.
Okay, so something about wine.
Yeah.
Yes. Something about wine.
Yeah.
That's looking for details, but did you get the general idea of the story? No. Okay, this group. Did you get anything about the general idea? And Eliane, stop reading the story. Well, did you get the general idea? Or anything about the general idea?
To be honest,
It was too quick, yes?
Yeah.
A bit quick. This group?
I have a beautiful beard.
Yeah, because
He has a beautiful beard. What you're doing, you're concentrating on details rather than the general
I
idea.
just took some ideas, but no.
Okay, now I'm going to give you, I'll allow you this time, do it again. I'm going to give you approximately a minute. That's all. I don't want you looking for details. 1 minute, go. Okay? Starting now. Approximately 15 seconds. 5 seconds. Okay, stop. Did you all have a reasonably good idea about the story now?
Yeah.
Okay, now with your partners, I want you to compare what your predictions were at the start to what the text actually says. Are they very different? Are they similar? Etc. Off you go. Okay, I'll give you about a minute. Okay, off you Did the idea, the content, in any way?
Or maybe it looks like
Very different. Could you
Yeah,
have
it could be
predicted?
different, huh? Because
No.
You couldn't have predicted anything like that. You wouldn't expect any story to
In the next story, I need a murder. So we like it's one
Was there anything that came up?
Yeah, it's like
Everything. Not to go, what was different?
maybe the context of
Yes, but I think every time.
Adventure. You're
I'm
about
science
science
yeah.
fiction and
Or
nature. Okay. Anything that was
I
similar.
mean the serial killer.
No, you're right. It's all in the discussion. All your
Maybe terrarium there is a ball inside, you know. There is a proof of a violent crime,
Gay,
girls. I know. I just can't think about it.
You are there for the detective kill everybody.
No.
Okay. Okay, stop. Okay, so some of your stories, some of you thought, well, your prediction at the start was quite accurate, and then another group, one group in particular, said, well, no, it's completely different from what we predicted, completely different. In fact, none of the vocabulary that you predicted came up, none. Maybe. Okay, so Samira, was there anything that you could have predicted?
No.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
So I'm not saying that your prediction before, I'm not saying, okay, now always, if I asked you to do the activity again about the prediction, do you think you would have predicted exactly the same vocabulary?
Yeah.
You would.
You'd
never vary. You'd always say, oh, there will be murder, there will be crime, etc. So, yes?
No, for me, when I saw something related to detectives, I mean, we need to be a crime, to have a crime.
Yeah,
No,
there was a crime.
no, but the you know, the robust one,
Okay, so you think a more concrete crime like a
yeah, but
murder,
I know, in the terrarium, inside the terrarium,
Yes.
there is a bomb, a bomb inside. It's a proof of a serial
Serial
killer,
killer.
yeah.
Okay, so that's predicting something else in a different story.
Yeah.
Okay, boys, did your predictions come pretty close to reality or not? Juan Carlos?
To be honest, I am completely lost. I read it and change, and the next paragraph change.
So first of all, the prediction was a very difficult activity for you. And then the second thing, when you had to read it very quickly, you concentrated maybe on some details and got lost. Okay. For you boys, for the rest of you, would you say that your predictions matched some of the content that you got?
It was similar. We first idea was about his private life, okay?
Private life, yeah.
okay? But this story was it's about friends, okay, and social activities and another person.
Okay.
No drama in general, okay?
So it's not really
Yes,
dramatic.
no.
Okay. So, but there was some kind of drama. No?
Yes.
Okay. Would you agree, boys? Yeah. Okay. And then finally, this group down here. Do you think your predictions matched the content that you got in the text?
Not in general, but something. For example, we predict that. Predicted that in this history story will have a group of persons.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah.
About a different environment. So these kind of things we find.
Exactly. Okay, now you all have different texts. At the end or after the hour, I will show you the different texts, okay? So you will get an opportunity to look at the other people's texts as well if you wish. Okay, now the next thing that I want you to do is another reading technique that maybe you will think, oh well, this is more my style, or maybe you're like Juan Carlos and say, oh well, I don't really want to skim for the general idea, I want more detail. Okay, I want specific detail. So this, when you read for specific details, again, it's quick, but this time you're focused on a particular goal. If you turn to the back of your text, you will find 5 questions. Okay, 5 questions. Now obviously I didn't give you the answers. Obviously I didn't do that. Okay? I want you to look in the text for the answers for these questions here that I didn't give you. Okay? You understand that?
Yes.
Okay? So I'm going to ask you to do that for about 2 minutes. Okay? Quickly read through the text and try to find the answers to the questions number 1 to 5 on each text. Okay? Off you go. Very, very quickly. Okay? Simple. Okay? Off you go. Now read through the text. You have to find the answers for this, okay? You have to find the answers for this by reading through the text. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So you have to find, okay, boys, you have to find the answers for these. You have to find the answers for these by reading through the text. Okay, so you understand what you can do?
Yes.
You get the answers to these questions here by reading through the text. Okay, by reading through the text. Okay, off you go. Very quickly. I'm going to give you 2 minutes.
What dream was at the back?
Okay, I saw when I read it before, it's a beer. It's about beer.
Yeah,
The number for
Can you repeat that?
The number 4
And it was not for event house party.
number 3 one.
Right.
Was and then
Ah, yeah, it's another system.
I don't see.
The event, right?
Yeah, the event is this semester.
What?
The event that goes out all the program.
Yeah. Ah, yeah,
One
yeah.
is
That's
one star.
first they call it, yeah.
The skimming.
And
And there one should be
why the
I
of the
have a question.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you want from the context.
And how is
How did you have a question?
It is ChatGPT, it might have changed just a little because ChatGPT didn't produce what I wanted it to produce. So I changed just a little bit. Obviously, ChatGPT doesn't know who you are. You can Okay, so find the answers. Find the answers. Read through the text and find the answers. So Katya does the IELTS course. So she has some skills that the rest of you may be right.
The question number 4.
Oh, maybe it's one of the techniques that you could use. Underline the place in the text where you get the answer.
This is the second one.
they found
Yes, very good. Okay, so maybe underline part of the text.
And the 15
Maybe 2 more minutes, maybe. Maybe. What are you boys doing here? Oh, in front of the camera as well. You're great there. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Say hello, Eleanor.
No.
So, match with your partners. Are you sure you've got the same answers? Okay. Yes.
But in English,
Different. Which is different in English and
yeah, Brazil is but I think
the pronunciation is also the same. Well, the intonation in the syllable, the syllable stress is not the same. So we'll say Brazil, and they say Brazil. Brazil.
What did Brazil hire?
Okay, 1 minute left. If you finish, socialize with your partner. If you don't like say la vida. Say la vida. We got all the answers. And have you listed in the text where you find the answers? Go ahead. Really? Okay, stop. Okay, so that skill, okay, the skill, to be honest, I probably took a little longer than I should have. I should have given you a shorter period of time, but some of you struggled a little on the first one, so we'll give you a little bit more time. But what you're doing there is trying to find details about from the story. So I gave you 5 questions to focus your attention and said, okay, this. Maybe sometimes looking for the location, the times, and certain specific events will help you understand the full text. So for the first story, we were in a situation where Nicolas was a detective. Okay, just to clarify, he was a detective. Now, could you expand on the story? Was there anything else in the story that you gleaned from reading the text a little bit more quickly and extensively this time? Ayari, what happened in this story?
Nicola helped me to find my terrarium, my expensive terrarium.
Okay, so Ayari, for those of you who don't know, she's very interested in terraria. Terraria. Expensive terrariums like that, okay, or terrarium, whichever way you want to pronounce it.
Beautiful.
And someone had stolen it. Which person had stolen it? Yanji. Young G. Okay, so Young G was who were you in the story? Who were you, Young G?
I'm that person.
You're a very bad person, a mafia don, more or less. And Samira and Katya, where were you in the story?
And you?
And I was also in the story,
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunately. Yes.
In a good event.
In what kind of event was it?
It's
Wine tasting.
A wine tasting event.
Yeah.
Why was it a wine tasting event? Why?
Because of French and Belgian.
Yeah, yes, because Nicolas is a little bit sophisticated and likes wine.
And this position is good for the glasses.
Exactly. He does have the French resting position as well. So the ladies were sophisticates. Sophisticates was one of the words that was used. People at the wine tasting soiree, and Katya was very condescending and snobby, etc. Okay, like her usual attitude towards Irish people. And Samira, she didn't like Ireland. Okay, she didn't like Ireland. She didn't know why she was there. So this was the story in that. This group, what was your story about, and who did it involve? Pepe Grande. Who was in that story? Who was in that story?
I am a friend to Elian.
He's a friend. What kind of friend? I mentioned the word. No, a Casanova. Casanova. What's a Casanova?
A fuckboy.
A what? Oh, quiet! Not in the screen, not in the screen. Okay, right. So a Casanova is a womanizer, someone who likes to flirt a lot with women, etc., or men, etc. Oh no, sorry, women if it was womanizer. Okay, everyone understand that? Okay, so that's who Pepe Grande is. What a surprise. Okay, what else happened in the story, Levy? Who else was in the story?
Bing.
Bing Bing was in the story. Bing Bing was in the story. Who was Bing Bing? No, it's not a crime. Okay, it's more dramatic.
She's alive.
Okay, so who was Bing Bing in the story, Eliane?
She is positive infection.
She's positive and infection, so she's not an infection. Okay, right. What kind of role did she play in the story? What was her character in the story? What did she do?
She was the chastening girl.
Yeah. Was there any connection between Eliane and
she
caught
Elian.
She caught
Yes.
Ellen's eye.
Yes.
Okay, she caught Ellen's eye.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
now Pepe Mediano. Who are you in the story? Who are you in the story?
I am who is trying to help the Chinese girl.
No, that wasn't true. That wasn't true. Okay, so Pepe Mediano has manipulated that story to suit his character. That's not true. Okay, yes, Libby?
I helped Alien.
You
have
helped
some advice.
with some advice. Yeah, why? Because you are what?
I am a friend of him.
You're a friend of his. And what kind of personality did you have?
I am a man of
Great intelligence, etc. How would you describe Pepe Mediano? What kind of man was he? What kind of man was he? Rich man. And what was he trying to do? What was he trying to do?
Manipulate
Manipulate who?
the Chinese girl.
Yes, you were trying also to capture the. You were trying to also capture the heart of Bing Bing. Okay, so there was a little competition between Eliane and Pepe Mediano with all the cash. Okay, very good. Now this group down here, what happened basically? So this was a science fiction film. So what happened in your story?
We are a group in the story.
Yes.
Me, Andrew, Davi, and Skimming.
Yes.
We are Mars.
You go to
We are
Mars.
okay.
Yeah.
What kind of personality did you have, Luca? Don't read it. Just use your memory.
I have a beautiful beard.
You have a beautiful beard.
Yeah.
And what kind of personality do you have, though? What kind of personality? You miss certain persons. Who do you miss?
Mommy.
You miss your mommy. Exactly. You're on Mars and you miss your mommy. And Dave and Sanjana, who are you in this story?
We are the lovers in this.
The lovers on Mars, the lovers on Mars.
She captured my heart.
She captured your heart. Yeah, she captured your heart. And what kind of person are you, Dave? What kind of person are you? Don't read it. Don't read it. Okay? Can you recall?
My personality?
Yeah. Or your looks, or your personality. What kind of? Don't be looking at that now, Dave. You're looking.
I have skills, leadership skills.
Leadership skills.
The search because.
What kind of eyes do you have? What kind of eyes? Beautiful eyes. Beautiful eyes. Okay. Blue like what? Blue like what? The oceans. Blue like the oceans. Okay, so I'm going to go over those questions. You got quite a lot of the meaning from the text without reading for detail, for extensively. You got for detail and for the general idea. You read it twice. So I'm going to go over the questions for each individual text. The first one then, what was one of Nicolas' notable characteristics regarding taste? Well, this group?
Fondness for fine wine.
Yes, he had a fondness for fine wine. So he really liked fine, not the stuff that you get in Lidl or Tesco, okay? Like top quality French wine. The next one then, at which hotel was Nicolas dining when the mysterious woman approached him? The Shelburne Hotel. For some of you who know Excel, that's where she worked. Okay. Next one then, what did Yonji steal from a Yari? We already mentioned that. What was it?
Super expensive terrarium.
A super expensive terrarium. The next one then, who was among the guests? We also found that at Nicolas' wine tasting event. Who were they?
Katya,
Samira, and me. And then finally, how did Nicolas manage to distract Yonji at the wine tasting event? What did he do?
Conversation.
So Yonji,
That's.
yes, what did he do?
He engaged me in a conversation about the complex of the wine.
Yes. Okay. So he engaged Yonji in a conversation about wine because she's also arrogant and loves wine and loves all that kind of expensive stuff. She's a terrible person in the story. Terrible person.
He kept for herself.
He kept it. Yes, exactly. Okay. So finally, Yonji went to prison. Okay. The next group. Which one was this? Oh yes. What internal conflict does Elian face? Okay. What was the internal conflict that Elian faced? Lily.
He's torn between a life of seeking for a simple life, but he has his dark past.
Exactly. So he's torn between a simple life and crime. So maybe he's going to join the Yonji syndicate. Okay? The next one then. Describe Pepe Grande's appearance. Juan Carlos. Pepe Grande's appearance.
It's from 1970.
1970s and was
Fantastic mustache.
yes, and he had a fantastic moustache. Okay, it's a fantastic moustache, very good. So what drink was Elian sipping at the pub?
He dropped
Again?
Draft beer.
Draft beer. Okay? The next one then. What did Pepe Mediano use in an attempt to win Bing Bing's heart? What did he use?
Money.
To be honest, another group has guessed it. He used the cash. He also used some gestures as well. And finally, the other group. So the Martian adventure. So the first one. Where does the story take place?
The story takes place in Elon Musk Martian colony.
Exactly. It takes place on Elon Musk's Martian colony. The next one then. How does Andrew feel about the colony's use of grammar?
He often grumbles about the lack of proper grammar.
Yeah, so he complains or he grumbles about the lack of proper grammar. The next one then, what natural event caused panic in the colony?
Sandstorm.
A sandstorm, very good. Where was Andrew eventually found?
Andrew's found at the secluded bridge.
Yeah, a secluded bridge. Yeah, a secluded ridge where he was looking back to Earth. He was nostalgic. And then the last one then, how did Luca react when they found Andrew? Luca, yes, he hugged me. He hugged me. And then he said that he was also homesick. Okay, nostalgic about homesickness. Okay, now these are yes, exactly. Okay, these are all different techniques to help you when you're reading. Now, are they effective? Because when we do these courses, we're supposed, like for example, Katya is doing the IELTS course, and she will have done skimming and scanning before. And maybe, I don't know what the IELTS teacher was teaching her about, but maybe she was or the teacher asked her to predict the kinds of vocabulary or the kinds of content that would come up in the text. Did it really help you? Did it really help you to do those activities or not? So, for example, Juan Carlos was a bit lost with the prediction activity, and he seemed a bit lost with the skimming activity. When I asked you to look for more detail with the scanning, it seemed to improve the matters a bit, but if you did all three, would it help you? Or if you did just one, would it help you? Or if you did two of them, would it help you? Okay, with your partners, for the next 2 minutes, I want you to suggest what ways or techniques you could use to help you read any text, okay, that would improve your reading performance. You understand that? You could include this if you think it's effective or not, or maybe other techniques. Maybe you could think about vocabulary, etc. Okay? 2 minutes. What techniques would help you improve your reading performance? What techniques or strategies would you use to improve your reading performance? What do you think? Any suggestion? Think about vocabulary. So just a very practical suggestion. So sometimes. Okay, you understand why I am? So like in the line yes, just focus on the name. Okay? So
when it's too all, you know,
So the first one and
yeah, the first one, which all sentences like okay, for example, talk about the paper, and then you know about the special which all the part yeah. The first one, yeah, so the main idea.
okay, another thing you can think about is which sentence is especially important.
Yeah, because you don't have one, you
Okay, so I think you already mentioned this about which sentences seem to be important, very often important in the text. But think what kinds of words are also important in the text. Joanna, just 1 minute. I'm doing a recording. Back in 10 minutes, Joanna. 5 minutes.
We go to the walking tour.
Oh, there's nobody here for 12.
Yeah.
No.
Hi, Joanna.
Bye. Maybe they connect, for example, I'll go because you put furthermore, because you can see the opposite. But it's not easy. Place also. Place date. No dates back. Tuesday. Sometimes tell a picture about a scientist or something and compare it with
try to find
when you have just pay attention and
maybe the verbs, say the verbs.
Because maybe
Really?
they. Do you want the next one or something?
From the band,
Okay, right? Okay. Okay, we'll go over this. So we've had so far, we had prediction or predicting content. Okay, predicting content. Then we had, okay, I asked you to skim for gist. Gist, skim for gist. Gist is the general idea, remember. Okay, so just the general idea of the story. Then you were scanning for details. Scan for details. So I gave you specific questions to look for the answers. Okay? Right. Any other suggestions that would improve your reading performance? What would you say? What else?
Highlight.
Highlight. Okay? Just a simple practical suggestion. Use a highlighter pen, for example. Now, what kinds of words or what kinds of sentences or phrases or whatever would you highlight?
Critical events, for example.
Where are the critical events? Like, what would you really look for? If I said, okay, now, just look at the text very, very quickly. What kind of words are you going to look for?
Places.
Okay, look for maybe places.
Roles.
Okay, I'll come back to this description in 1 second. What else?
Names.
Names. What else?
Connectors.
Again? What do you mean connectors?
Like linking words.
Okay, linking words. I'll come back to that in a second. Linking words. Anything else?
Date.
Okay, dates.
Yeah.
So times, etc.
Yeah,
Okay, let's say times and dates. Anything else? What other kinds of words are super important?
Verbs.
Names.
Okay, so you would say verbs. Somebody said adjectives. Now, are adjectives going to be super important in many of those texts?
No.
Why would you use adjectives?
To describe someone.
Now, you might describe someone using the adjectives, and you might say, well, that's very important as well. But very often, the adjectives are unimportant or just extra information. So maybe they're important, but I would say they're of less importance than what kind of words? What kind of words would you say are slightly more important than adjectives very often?
No.
Nouns, typically. Okay, so linking words, maybe. I'll come back to that in a second. Nouns. I heard this group said verbs, etc. Now, I would say nouns would be probably the most important thing in most texts, but that's not, obviously that's not a 100% rule. Linking words. Why would linking words help you?
Because they connect ideas.
So, they connect ideas where very often?
Between
Okay.
paragraphs.
Between paragraphs. So you might have, of course you can have linking words inside the paragraph, you say and but, etc. So general conjunctions. But you might have connectors that connect one paragraph to another paragraph. And where do you typically find them? Do you find it in the middle?
Beginning.
The beginning and the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so the end of one paragraph and the beginning of the other. Maybe this will help you with the text. So maybe knowing some connectors or conjunctions, etc., with linking words will help you read a text. So if I have a lower level class, generally I'll say, if you want to improve your reading performance, probably learn quite a few of them. This will probably assist you. Now, any other techniques that you could use or strategies to improve your reading performance? I gave you one, which is something that I try to emphasize throughout the course. This is only a small little detail to guess vocabulary. That's why I didn't want you to use the dictionary. I know there's a lot of vocabulary in that you probably don't know. I gave you a phonestheme for each text. So one of the phonesthemes was, SN. And what do you typically think of when you think of SN? The nose. So a phonestheme, I can't remember which one was that. The first one. Okay. Okay. Yes. So sniffing. What's sniffing? Like this. Sneezed is what? A chew. Now these are quite easy words, but maybe you get the word down at the bottom. You get snooty or sneer. Maybe what kind of personality did Nicola have again? What kind of personality? Sophisticated. Now he's snooty and and Yonji was sneering. So what kind of personality type, or sorry, what kind of action do you think that would mean? Yeah, exactly like that. It helps you guess. And I gave this group Dior or something. Dior. So draft beer or something. Was it this group? I gave Dior. I can't remember which. Yes. What does Dior do very often? Pull. So draft beer is what kind of beer?
Pull.
This beer. You guess from context. And then this group was GR. So GR very often has something to do with what? Any ideas? Groan and grumble and gripe and grouse and all those kind of words. Does that sound nice or good? Or say nice or bad, I should say. Bad. So it usually has something to do with this kind of noise, deep and negative. Okay, these are just little tips to help your reading practice in the future. Okay, your reading performance. Really, one of the people that I very often read about and listen to, and his suggestions about reading is a person called Paul Nation. He's from New Zealand, and you might be depressed at some of the information he gives you, but I think you can avoid some of the problems that he talks about. There's one thing that I'll say, and this will be the end of the recording. What percentage of the vocabulary would you need, or material, would you need to understand of a text? What percentage, apologies for the outside noise, what percentage of a text would you have to understand to read it comfortably, for you to enjoy it? Let's say you're reading a novel. What percentage would you think you would have to know? 80%. How much? 90. Okay. Now, usually when I ask that question, you 70%. Usually when I ask that question, the students give those kind of answers. Well, he suggests something like this, 98%. And think about it. If you were reading a novel, and on the first page, 10% of the vocabulary you did not know, and that's 90%, that was the highest figure that you get. That means on every line, which has about 10 words, there'll be a word that you don't know. Now imagine reading a text where there's a word on every line that you don't know. Oh damn, I have to look up the dictionary again. What's this? I'll just guess it from context. Okay, and then this word I also have to guess from context. If it's 98%, it means you only have to guess or look up 2 words in every 100. That's a little bit more reasonable. And maybe if you're reading a novel and you say, well, I don't know, am I able to read this novel or not? Open the first page, read through the text and see, do I have to stop quite a lot? Then if you don't, go on to the second page and then do it again. And see, after a few pages, is this going to continue or not? Am I going to be able to do this or not? Maybe this will give you a good, just heuristic guide as to whether it's something you should be reading or not. There are other tricks that you can use to get better performance, scores in the IELTS, etc. on reading, but there is no substitute for just hard work. You really do need to understand a lot of the material before you can really appreciate the reading itself. Okay, now everyone, that's the end of the recording, so we did a great job again. Most of you, Dave, okay? No, I'm joking. Dave was fantastic again. Very good. Good flies. And say thank you to Duncan. Thank you. Thank you. Until the next time, hasta luego. Okay, thank you. Okay.